Welcome, everybody. And today we're starting the transmission of 51st Jinki. That's again right now in a collective field and the field of consciousness. And this is the key of awakening. And this is one of the keys of the codon ring of humanity. That means that this key is what helps, this key helps us to also awaken our human nature, to understand what does it mean to be a human. And also, of course, on a Siddhi level, it's about awakening our divine nature, it's awakening our spirit. And yeah, today we have one person online, one person offline. And if you want to maybe come closer, no?
And so?
Come closer, no?
I need backrest. I can go here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and this key is also interesting because it has this power of shock. So it's said that when awakening happening, it's always shocking. It's a shock to our personality, it's a shock in our life. But also, if we look deeper into the hexagram of this key, and just a reminder, the hexagram is a teaching from ancient I Ching system where there are 64 hexagrams of the universe, and each hexagram it contains three grams that in this key it's thunder and tenderness. So we can see that the shock, the awakening, is the thunder and tenderness, and we can't exclude one another. And this already itself like an introduction into this transmission, because when we think about the shock or when we think about awakening, we think of something more like a thunder, more like radical, something that happens dramatic, kind of maybe even dramatical and radical, yes, that awakens us. But we see that it's not possible without tenderness, and when we will go into the Siddhi of this key, we will understand why it's happening like this. Yeah, and so the shadow of this key is agitation, the gift is initiation, and the Siddhi is awakening. And this key in a human design is in the ego center. That means it's also responsible for how our ego works. And also this is one of the keys in the mystical path. And the beautiful message of this key is that a lesson, a teaching of what we do with the shadows, how we deal with the shadow. And the program partner of this key is 57. This is the key of intuition. So awakening comes with intuition. And we also can see this: to truly awake the spirit within us, we need to follow our own intuition, we need to follow our own path that does not determined by people or like other authorities, let's say like this, that there is no even guides or teachers on this path of true awakening, and we will see later why. And yes, so again, just explaining the container, how it works is that I'm sharing the transmission, you're receiving, there will have at times slots of your questions and contemplations. And I'm asking you to be fully present, fully focused here, without distractions, without like phones or anything that can distract your attention. And let's dive first, let's start with the shadow of agitation. And to start with the shadow, something that I want to share about this key, or in fact that what Richard Rudd shared, that the agitation, it's not only in our like minds, it's not only in our human nature, it's everywhere in the universe. It's in the cosmos. It's kind of, let's say, this energy is what rooted in all the existence. So it's not only how our human nature works. And to understand agitation is to understand what causing also our suffering. And how Richard Rod is sharing is that normally we are so deep in that frequency, but we even don't see this. But he said the moment when, for example, we try to sit in meditation, and then we just realize that, oh my God, this craziness of my mind, absolute no silence and stillness, and that I'm just basically spending all my life in this shadow. And for a lot of the people, I would say this shadow is just the frequency of the life from the birth, maybe not from the birth, but later on, like till the end, because yeah, this energy is what follows us everywhere we go. And on the shadow level, the shadow can lead us to compete with one another and to try to prove our worth and our authenticity through competition. And in the shadow, we can't really accept our authentic nature. We don't see ourselves. We're very busy in our minds and in competition and in trying to prove yourself, or in a fear mode that doesn't even let us to unblock our true nature, unblock our authenticity. This key is the very authentic. It's like the central key to awaken our authentic nature. But also it's said that, yeah, in the shadow of agitation, our true nature is very, very far away from us. And also, like as example for that, it's how we react on the shadow, what we do when we have uncomfortable emotions, what we do when we experience the shadow. And again, what Richard Rudd is sharing is that normally, he said, the people, they have two ways to deal with the shadows or uncomfortable emotions. Either they suppress, and they go into fear, and they just kind of keep them within, and then these emotions create patterns, and we kind of not even in the real connection with what's going on, or we immediately react and we try to solve it. We try to solve the problem. We try to solve the shadow. Kind of, in one way, we fully give up, and in another way, we trying to also do anything we can. We approaching a path of doing and thinking, oh, now I'm gonna change all my shadows. And in fact, this behavior is, this tendency is what I saw most of the times during my individual work with people through their jinkies, when the first reaction of person when the person is introduced to the system and to this level, so that, oh my God, I have the shadows, I need kind of to change them, I need to do anything I could to move out of them. That leads itself to a wrong path, because that's again denying something. And I'm always telling that the only way to transmute the shadow is through acceptance. It's like the path of Tantra. You can't change anything until you see it, accept it, love it, and then it's transmute itself. Until we have in our mind separation and idea that shadow is bad and Siddhi is good, and I need to erase all my shadow and spend all the time only in Siddhis, until we have this mindset, we are still in separation and duality. And even while we're thinking we are on a spiritual path and we're healing and we're doing something, we're still not going anywhere, because we're still in the separation and duality, basically, that it's just can create more spiritual ego or ideas of, I need to be this like enlightened persons in cities and everything else is a bad. that this key 51st can show that this itself an illusion, and it teaches us just to stay with the discomfort and don't react. It said the shadow works when we react on the discomfort. We react on our own emotions. We react on what's happening outside. It's like a fear that something will penetrate you, like not in a physical way, but it's like a fear of something that can take your peace away, or the fear of this key is rooted in a fear of that something unpredictable can happen that can cause you harm, or even lead you to death, or some issues with health, or with anything that something unpredictable can happen that can affect your life, and you're trying to protect yourself from it, and to basically to control then as a result. And so while we have this key in the transition from 4th till 10th of April, we can see these tendencies in our minds, where I'm too wrecked, where I'm trying to be like control the future, where when I don't trust the life itself, where I'm trying to control the outcome, where I'm trying to interfere because I'm afraid, and because I just don't trust myself, I don't trust life. This key is awakening this question of trust, how much you can trust, in fact, that everything is happening for a bigger reason, and it all has its own purpose, and it's all in fact leading you to awakening. And as I said, shadow, this either will give up, and a person who's like, oh, I don't want to do anything, I don't want to work with any shadows, I don't want to like be a hero of my own life, kind of, I don't believe in all this, and just kind of let the shadow fully consume. Or somebody who's like, I need to heal all this, and so they're reacting to any discomfort in a way of trying to control the outcome, and thinking that, okay, I'm doing something good, but in fact it's still fight with life. And this shadow is teaching us, this key, I said, is teaching us just to stay in presence and softening with everything. That's why it has this soften energy in it. It says, when you experience any discomfort, all you need to do is soften more. All you need to do is open your heart more, because it's like, as I said, it's a universal kind of shadow. It's everything, every time penetrating one another, all the time. And you can't you can't escape the life penetrates you in any forms. And sometimes they're pleasurable, sometimes they're not. Depends on like our own preferences. I mean, like sometimes life gives you some beautiful experience, sometimes life gives you some experience where you think, oh, it's discomfortable, I don't like it, but it's still a form from universe to expressing love. It's just our personal preferences. If we look into Buddhism teachings, we will see that this is how samskara is created. First, we have again duality by separating something in good and bad based on sensations, what I think is comfortable or not comfortable. And when I think that some sensations and feelings are comfortable to me, I want to experience them more, and that's creating a root of attachment, because I want more and more these experiences. That's how I create suffering. Or I want to escape, and I start to deny and separate me with some discomfortable sensations, and that's also creates suffering. So then it's just stuck, the person just stuck in a loop of trying to run for pleasure, or like for some experiences that will give pleasure for this person, how this person determines pleasure, or that will avoid discomfort. And then life is happening and say like penetrating us in different ways, comfortable and not comfortable. So the true awakening or the past awakening is to stay in presence with all of it, without without making them good or bad, or without even making this all experience about yourself. And this, what I will say, maybe will be something more advanced. I would say it's more Siddhi level, but I feel like to share it right now that what is happening and happening to us and or with us, we let's say we think that okay, this happened to me or this experience happened with me, but in the truth, it's all just happening, and it's all just the life moving and creating the life and creating different variety of everything, and it's all just manifestations of energy. And in a deeper sense, it's even not happening. It's like a big dream, like samsara, how they would say it in Buddhism again. And right now, as I'm in Nepal, I'm in deep touch with this tradition and the memory of my soul of a lot of, let's say, past life experiences of being devoted to this system, and this remembrance coming strong of just seeing the true nature of things, and that in fact it's even nothing is happening, or it's just we have very fast identification that all this happened with me and this, but in fact it's all just happening. It's like just a river of life is moving, and we have tendency to attach to some things and experiences, believing that they're about us, but in a deeper sense they're just happening. But again, this is more Siddhi level of awakening, because when we will come to the gift, we will see that we still need to kind of awaken our authenticity. Yeah, but on a shadow level, we can see either the giving up also on oneself, and kind of a person who's stuck in a self-pity, who don't believe that any changes is possible, who refuse to follow the destiny, the life path, who refuses to make any changes or actions because they just don't believe, or a person who always like in fight competition and like proving himself, and thinking that, oh, I'm so good and great, and again, from the transmission of Jinkies, is that we can see that there are some people in the world who kind of prove themselves, and they can become like big figures or leaders, but at the end the death will make us all equal. And that this key is showing that the true humanity, is the golden ring of humanity, is possible only through awakening. Because while we're still in a separation and in believing in oneself and with identification with duality and with suffering, and with trying to avoid the suffering, there always gonna be some drama or some like kind of illusion keep going on. And the awakening, as we will see, is probably the most mysterious Siddhi of all of them, though it has nothing inside of it that the mind can consider as mystical, and it's a paradox. But before we go to Siddhi, when I feel the Siddhi is coming stronger, it's probably is not possible not to feel it with at this place of Nepal, because it's just all Siddhi. You just need a second to connect with it. But yeah, still would love to ask your feedback about the shadow and your experiences, if anybody wants to share anything. How you experience agitation in your life? Do you fight or do you give up? Do you react on circumstances of life, and do you like always in a fighting? Or you can be in the presence and surrendering with everything, like softening, let's say. And do you feel you live your true nature, or you more just fighting and proving something always to others instead of being your authentic self? These are questions that may be good to contemplate.
I love that so much. Yeah, I'd love to share. I really love that you I mean, obviously with this gene keeping in my relationship attraction sphere. Yeah, I can see how and how it has really deeply affected me with my, sexual wounds and relationship wounds. Just looking back at my life circumstances and story. But yes, pertaining to this shadow, I find it really, yeah, I really resonate with you saying that, like, can we just stay with the discomfort? Like, there's just like me being in the shadow, like I just want to escape it all the time. Um and yeah, just noticing that in my life and even in my body right now, like I find it so interesting that this is coming up this week and what I've just been navigating and journeying the last couple of weeks. Um, yeah, I can literally like feel it activated in my body right now. And like there's a part in just even noticing today, I was like wanting and trying to find a way to like get rid of it instead of just being present with it. And as you said, like softening into it, like opening your heart more. Um, yeah, it's just like needing to come back to that instead of and yeah, understanding that it's not a bad thing, right? How we like to label, our ego loves to label it as something separate or something we need to get rid of, but it's actually just something that we need to love. Like that, like, can we truly just merge with it and just be in it and be okay with it, right? Because it's all of life. It's like what creates life as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. I would like to add only that, yeah, it's, and I can say myself experienced so many times where, oh, there's this thing and this, and I need to heal more and more. But then where I had the moments of deeper clarity in my life, there was just a vision, like a clarity that there's nothing to heal. And in fact, some years ago, I would say, an awakening experience in my life that was like very much shock, but something that revealed after that was that there never was any even trauma. Everything that happened, all that I thought was like trauma from childhood or this or that, I was all just leading towards awakening.
Oh my God, you literally just blew my mind.
And in a deeper sense, it's like we have this, we're stuck right now, I would say, in tendency of healing. And I don't say that we don't need to do this, because again, it's always a balance and kind of the mystery of the spiritual path, that you need to start the spiritual path only to at one point to let it go. Before the true awakening will happen, you let go even the spiritual path. You see then even this is illusion, and probably the biggest and the highest illusion, but you still need to walk this illusion until the right time will come for you to let it go. And there is no, that's what this key is sharing. That's why for me it's so beautiful. It's saying that there is no teachings, there is no teacher, there is no master, there is nobody who can give you awakening. There is nothing, nobody, no teachings, no practices, nothing. Because it's not about this, because awakening is a simply seeing, I would say, that you never even existed. And so with this, who is doing the practices? Who is trying to heal? Who is engaged in all this? That itself is illusion. And that clarity, when it appears, is very painful, and at the same time is liberating. And it comes only when the one self, let's say, is ready to see this, is ready for this thunder and tenderness, because it's both. It's a thunder to see this, that, oh my God, it's all illusion, but it's a deep love and softening in this, and it can't be rushed. It's not that you heard it from somebody and then you decided to act like this. Like, okay, now I heard this and now I don't need any healing. It's not by taking something mentally, because you know, if you're still on a healing journey and you believe in it, it's needed, then go until the life naturally will show, and it will come through a clarity. Because what is the clarity? It's not a mental information. It's like kind of a download of higher frequency in your system that changes your system, that restructures your DNA, that activates like a different, like kind of some physiological energetic process, that awakening, like a higher consciousness in you. It's not that you took something from a mind or from somebody. And I'm saying, or even on for those who are watching the recording also, that it's your own path, and the life will show when it's time to heal, when it's time to let go healing, when it's time to do the practices, when it's time to let them go. Because everything at the end, it serves the awakening. Everything, all traumas, all shadows, all gifts, all pain, everything ever is serving it. And at one point, this clarity will be just kind of, it will appear, it will occur so strong that will be no way not to see it. But until it happened, that means that there still will be paths, there will still be somebody who is going on spiritual path, and it's also okay. Because I saw so many times people who, for example, like took the Advaita from a mind, they said, oh, it's all not happening, there is no duality, so I can do anything because there is no good or bad. And when the teaching is not deeply rooted in a system, where there was no a transmission that literally changed even physical form and consciousness and the whole being, when it's just we take something from a mind because our mind is interested in something. It's like, oh, this is interesting idea, interesting approach, I will live now like this, but it's not embodied, it's not truly in our system, then it's just another illusion. So that's why this key is kind of very radical. It's the key of very honest. It's like, it's the safe, you want to awaken, and just go the radical path of truth. Just being in truth every moment, every second, no matter what. And this can also lead to awakening. And but don't forget about tenderness. Yeah, so maybe you wanted to share something?
Yeah, thank you everyone for your sharings. It was beautiful to listen to this
You want to
dialogue.
come here?
Uh,
Maybe
oh,
you can see it.
I mean, okay. Yeah, again, this keys feels like sort of been waiting for this key to show up, and it's finally here. in the sense of like, yeah, this energy, and especially in the society we live in, which is so competitive and driven by fear and everything. This key is kind of antidote to fear and to this kind of stress that we're getting from everything around us, which, yeah, I relate to a lot, because the shadow's being useful to, like, it's useful to see some of the areas in life where you need, like, you know, maybe you can see the areas in life that are not totally like in alignment with your soul. But at the same time, it's how we're responding to the shadow that's most important. So I feel, yeah, it's been really as well myself, and when I've been traveling with Katya, like observing how things have happened over the last weeks and weeks. I feel like this key is kind of bringing to fruition like some things that have been like kind of stirring in the, you know, when you're in chaos, right? So I feel, yeah, I'm interested to see where we go.
Yeah, again, every key is very relevant. And oops, as it said, just to stay with it, to stay with discomfort itself is a big practice, as we always try to change things instead of them. And this teaching of this key is the transmission of softening, that whatever happens, just kind of open your heart more and soften more. Let it in instead of try to fight with it. And also what you said about stress, if you look at this, you kind of always try to fight with stress or to create then ideas in our mind and everything. But if we truly, let's say, if we would truly let go of the control of our mind and just being present in every moment, letting the body do what it needs, because there is high intelligence moving through body, then the system, the person will naturally move in the most alignment and will be where it's needed to be and won't where the person doesn't need to be. It's like we creating so much suffering because we have so much ideas and we're not in the present moment of his life. And I remember when I did Vipassana in my life, again, coming this experience as a memory. And that first days, I was so like, I remember nervous or like being in the agitation of, oh, I forget to message this client, oh, I forget to do this, oh, I forget to organize this. And then at some point when I came to deeper stillness, and then I had the experience of just a silence of a mind when my mind stopped producing the thoughts. And then even leaving after the Vipassana from this stillness, being in the life, there was such a deep clarity of that everything that meant to happen will happen. Everything that didn't meant to happen will not happen. Kind of, there's no need to worry about this. And in a sense, like when I experienced when truly being in the presence and in the body and in that moment, everything that my system needs to do right now, I do without thoughts, without ideas about it's like kind of body just stays and do. There is no thought, oh, I don't want to do this, oh, I'm tired. If it's how energy moving through me, the body just do it itself when there is no kind of me involved in this. Or when there is no need to do something, body is just not doing this, and that's it. This system is so intelligent. The problem is that we don't trust it, and we always try to create our own path instead just letting the life move in us and move through us the way that is designed in the most aligned way. And when we're not in the present and not fully here, then this like then we need to for example, I want to launch a product or do something, and then I have like resistance or something, and then I need to work on it. I find a reasons, or I sabotaging because of this or this, or I'm lazy or this or this. But when I'm really in presence and the energy is moving through me, like do this, message this, organize this, like, or like some structure is coming through me, I'm just doing this. There is no thoughts about this. There is no like there is no the beauty of what once revealed to me. The beauty of living from a present moment is that you don't need to worry about past or future, because everything that meant to happen is happening anyway. And if I need to organize something, there's just energy moving through, and kind of the body is just doing this. I don't need to think, oh, I need to plan this for this day or for like the week or something, and then I'm trying to create the stress in my mind, and then worrying that things don't happen in my way, all this. We are creating so much pressure and tension on ourselves just because we're not living from the presence. But when we truly come into the presence, we see that all I need to do is like, I'm doing it naturally. All that I don't need, there is not for this system, I'm not doing. And it's simple. Even with food, is anything, it's like everything is realigned in the most harmonious way. But when we're in agitation, it's always like stressed and nervous, and yeah, there's even like disconnection with life in a sense that we try to control and understand the life instead of just being in it. I remember once, I don't remember exactly, but I was traveling somewhere, and a long time ago, I was traveling alone, and I spent most of the days in a hotel. I didn't even went anywhere, and I felt so good. I didn't need to go anywhere because my body just was not doing this. And then in the last day, I went somewhere because my body did, and there was that initiation that needed to happen. It's like when we truly connected with ourselves, we don't think, oh, I need to do this, oh, I need to do this because I have this idea of everything. We just move what is natural. And at the same time, I remember when again I was traveling, and I was something really. I had like 2 or 3 days in some place in Himalayas, and I wanted to visit, and I just was after like, I think it was a night bus or something, and arrived, and I was very tired in the morning, and I had like breakfast, and then I had a chance, either I will go sleep or I will go to, I wanted to visit a rare house. It's one of the like very, let's say, one of the very mysterious places of teachers of past, enlightened couple, the twin flames. And I listened to my body, and I realized that, well, my body has a tension right now and tiredness. I have a choice. I can sleep right now, or I can move the energy. And I did mandala dance instead. Like, it's a physical and energetic practice that helped me to remove the stagnant energies from my body. And then I was able to go, and the day was, I received some deep and strong initiations. And that was by listening to myself, because the system was needed to remove the tension, and it was like a ways to do this. And so it's always like kind of, then you start to live really from initiative, and from going your own path. And the beauty of this, that when you really go in the path of your soul, it absolutely doesn't matter what anybody think about this. Like, you absolutely not interested in what others say, what the not that like you deny it or something. It just doesn't kind of touch you. You just, because you're guided by something. It's like a Buddha who left his kingdom, who left his family, and who just decided to went and meditate. You just know it's in your heart, and whatever anybody's saying is absolutely doesn't matter for you, because in your heart was guiding you, and you follow it. And this is how you moving towards awakening, through taking the bold steps towards your true nature and what's moving in your heart, without ideas of like right or wrong or something like this, or what other would think, how it would look like. Because shadow is worrying, oh, how would it look like? Do I look enough strong, or do I look enough beautiful, or do I look enough like a spiritual person, or do I look enough awakened or mystical or whatever? But then the gift doesn't care about these things at all. It's just going like the path of heart, and it's kind of like a sword going through any illusions. This key is a symbol of Vajra. The Vajra is it's like, in the Buddhist tradition, again, it's like something that cuts through illusions. So it's like a sword, but it's it's not in the
Light
form
sword.
of swords, like yeah, light sword. It's lightning swords. It's what cuts through illusion and kills the ignorance. So it's like, and this key, it's cutting through everything. It kills ignorance. It's going this radical path of transformation where it's absolutely aligned with the past and kind of doesn't care of any thoughts, ideas of others, because there is a deep understanding within, or deep clarity, that whatever others think, they think about themselves. They always project something, good or bad. It's still a projection. When somebody judge you, it's their own judgment. When somebody say, "Oh, you're so good, this and this and this," they just see something in you that resonates also with them, or they see in you person or some experience that they want to be, and they feel inspiration. But still all the projections, because the truth is that when there is something not inside of us, we can't recognize it in others, because we just don't know this exists. It's like kind of, we can't see what we not are, I would say, something like this. So whatever we see in others, it's all us. It's all about us. It's all in our subconsciousness, we can say, or in our system, because otherwise we won't be able to recognize it. It's like, I remember something that I'm not sure I would be fully correct right now, but something about the how Christopher Columbus opened America. That's kind of that something like somebody didn't see a land before because they didn't know this land exists there. Something like this. They kind of had to go, see through to find something that you think is not possible to be there, kind of. So this is how our mind works. So that's how awakening works. You see beyond, you see through what you even think is possible to see. Yeah. So I feel it's gonna be again time for your sharings and contemplations. If you want. Or if not, then I will continue.
Were you just talking about the gift, or were you just talking about in general?
We're more common to a gift, yeah. I would say
Okay,
that.
cool. Okay, great. Happy for you to move on.
Yeah, the gift of initiation, initiative, and yeah, initiative. So what's the difference of shadow and gift? In a shadow, we always stuck in fighting, comparison. This shadow is rooted in comparison, and we're not connected with our authentic true nature. When in a gift, we are connected with our hearts. We are connected with ourselves. We had the courage to follow the path of the heart, no matter what. And in these terms, it's a lonely path in a way that it's your own path. Nobody can walk it for you. Nobody can make it happen. And even teachers or teachings, it can be just an inspiration, or again, like initiations that will make you connect deeper to yourself. That's why the people who embody this gift, they're not leaders, they are initiators. They're those who will initiate others, who will maybe trigger them, who will provoke, who will initiate something. But they're not interested in leading. The 51st gift would say, I'm going this way, and that's it. Like, if you want, if you're interested, go. If not, I don't care, because I just go in this way. That's it. It doesn't need anybody to follow, and the same if somebody is followed, then because of their heart, because of their choice. And this gift is transmuting this stagnant energy of shadow into the creative force. That's why these people, they are becoming very creative. And this is how the innovations are happening. This is how we're creating new pathways. This is how we see what was not possible to see before. Through this gift, we have all this revolution in mindset, or like new things appearing, some new technologies. Like this gift itself is giving us always something new, and always it initiates, and it initiates us first of all. And also what I love about this key, in fact, in the transition from shadow to gift, is that when we just accept the simple truth that, as I said, everything is always penetrating one another, and this agitation even exists in the cosmos, then we can really soften and stop trying so hard and just be. And from this beingness is this gift can arise. And also we see that it takes really courage to follow your own path. And there are going to be no guru, no guides, nobody who can guide you. And it's just, if you feel you need to go with this direction, you go. If you feel you don't, you don't. And that's why it's connected to the program partner is the key of intuition. And intuition is always guiding us when we can listen to it whisper, because intuition is very how you say when something is not loud?
Quiet.
Very quiet voice, like wisdom moving through us. And when we follow the intuition, we find the right path. And with this key is beautiful to see that there is no right or wrong. There is just awakening unfolding itself. And this gift is very creative. It always the person who initiates itself initiates others. It's not compete, but it's kind of living so freely and so authentically that it naturally inspires others, that it naturally makes others wonder, that it naturally sometimes provoking others, or activating the fire within them to live their authentic nature. And it's saying that on the true path of awakening, there is no teachings. You can't copy the path of Buddha. You can't copy the path of Christ. You can't copy the Krishna. You can't copy it, because whatever happened was their awakening, happened through their initiative. And it happened because, in fact, they followed the path. I remember I took yesterday a card. We've been making some decision with my partner, and I took a card, and it was unplug from collective consciousness, from massive consciousness. So it's like unplugging from this. It's not being interested in this. It's just going through. And and then these kids can shake sometimes our lives, because it might make us question everything, all our beliefs, all our mental constructions, because it has to shake. It's in the beginning, it's thunder, so it has to make this like booms and make us question everything, and letting go and letting go and letting go, until we will soften enough to be able to recognize the true nature. And like it said, every initiation, every trigger, every challenge that happens to you is just invitation to soften more. Because when you soften enough and you can let anything in, then at some point you find a freedom within that is unshakable. Do you want to share anything? No? Okay. You?
Mhm.
Okay.
Just a little bit like, so first, because like I could take like loads of initiatives, right? I'm great at taking initiatives, but how do I do that in a way that I'm not like kind of going into a shadow kind of initiative where I'm like prioritizing my view over someone else's, or like not like, what would you say, is it more about just being, like you said, first in stillness, feeling the body again, then being centered in your heart? What if though there's like a situation where you feel like there needs to be someone who kind of has this initiation energy, like cardinal, Aries fire directive energy? How does one remain justified and kind of in this position without to others looking like you're in a shadow or something?
I would say you need to ask yourself a question: does this initiative happen as reaction or something, or it happens, from a like recognition from something, and how the energy moves through you? Does it happen as a reaction from mind? This again goes into shadow of agitation, when we're afraid that something will happen to us, or like life will suddenly do something that we can't predict and control, so we kind of need to going into stress and in a shadow. Or it's just like a truth moving through us. It's like, I would say, this gift, this key is like a trishul. It's like this energy, and it's not like this, guiding, the trishul. It's like what Shiva holds, and it's holds this, how it holds this, not doing like this, poking everything just because it's like has like some feelings or something. It's holding it strong, and it's using it only when it's needed. And then the recognition when it's needed, it's coming from, again, a clarity. So
So can I just respond then? So this gift you would only then use in like kind of when you want to take serious step towards something, like full committed. It's only for like big steps and courageous kind of ventures, nothing like can you use this for small tasks?
for example, can you say an example so I can better understand?
Like if I don't know, like let's just say like you need to kind of organize the day, the structure of the day, just of one day today, and then it's like it's important that you get something done, but you have many other tasks to do. So you kind of, even though the odds are against you, you still have to take initiative to prioritize the thing that you feel is important, right? Like if there's something that's really important, but let's say the day has become chaotic, which it does in life, and then you don't want that chaos to consume you, then you have to take initiative.
Yeah, but I would say if it's really important and it's really come through life, like the life is making it happen through you, then kind of you will naturally find a way. What I mean is that we have to ask ourselves, like, why I believe I need to do this today. Where does it comes from?
Well, say it's like heart-centric. It's heart-centered. There's a level of like soul connection, but there's a lot of like obstacles in the way of getting there. Then you kind of have to take an initiative in order to achieve that goal. If there's things that can seem don't forget the word, but like when like lots of small tasks kind of they can kind of they can like add up to become like an obstacle. So you kind of need to like manage that with initiative. So
yeah, you know, I would say, like, for example, if it's really something important for us, we fully go there. We won't even like, for example, I remember situation in my life when I really was choosing something was important. And these moments, I don't even think about, oh, if I'm hungry or not, or like, do I feel warm or something. I'm just going, it's like this, I'm just going through anything. But if I'm like, something is important, but there are also many other important things and everything, then I'm just also probably just stuck in my mind. As I said, it's like, I like this example of how they said, if you want to go toilet, you just go toilet. You don't think. You don't think like, oh, it's not comfortable right now, or it's this and this. You just acting because it's necessary for your body. There is no thoughts, there is no ideas, oh, last time I couldn't, I failed, so I won't never try again, or like all these kind of thoughts we have. So that's what I said in the beginning. I was saying, sharing from when we live from presence, then why it's so easy, why there's so much relaxation in it, because we naturally doing only what is really necessary, and everything else we don't even think about this, because we know that life is supports itself and it creates the right trajectory. All we have to do is move with it.
okay.
And finish. And if there is something that life is not creating, then this probably is just some ideas in my mind that I'm like feeding. But if life not creating this, then maybe it's even don't need to happen.
Okay. Then one last thing that I thought about was between like the masculine path and feminine path, like as in like like in terms of gender. Like from what you described, it sounds very kind of like an explanation from the feminine path. It's like you would have to just feel your body, but like where is the like leading happening, right? Because this energy is supposed to be like people who kind of initiating, like it's Mars, it's very direct, it's very like if I just let go, is that what this key is about, letting go?
In a city, I will see this. This is what I said. This key, this even the gift, it's not leader. These people are not leaders. They're not interested
So the leaders
in like, oh, I'm gonna be the one who leads like the society. These people are simply going their own path. And if naturally the leadership happened, like for example, I say again example of Richard Rudd. He was just going his path of awakening. And then it happened that through this the jinkies happened, and then the whole system, and then people who wanted followed, and then like the whole community and teachings and everything. Does he wanted it? Does he was like looking for the no? He was going towards awakening. That's always he was interested. And then by nature, the other things occurred. But if we like looking for them, oh, I need to create a system, I need to be leaders for others, I need to create a global community, this and this, then we just can push ourselves to make something happen when either it's absolutely not in our destiny, or there is no readiness in the system yet, or there is like, the system needs to develop or something, it's just not the right time. So I'm saying this key is, I would say this key is kind of beyond gender.
So it's path of individual.
Yeah, that's why I said, that's why it's hard in our society, especially nowadays when we see Instagram and we see this person posting something, this person, this, we have so much information. We have so much like inspiration in a way that's good, but at the same time, if we don't have enough centeredness in our own system, then our mind is kind of attaching to every, oh, I want this, oh, I want this, oh, I want this, without even truly knowing, does my soul really need it? because it's this keys kind of do what is necessary for your awakening. Everything else is, if something else is needed, it will kind of naturally fall into the place. If not, then not. Like if something didn't happen, it didn't meant to. Something need to happen. And it's, again, I can say from my life experience of something that the one of big lesson I learned, if life wants something to happen, really, it will find, like it will make it, it will find anyways. It's like if you resist, the life will create sometimes a big mess and drama, so you finally awaken. But it's time, if life don't want something to happen, no matter how much you try, it will not happen.
I see. It's like this key is like asking us to, like step into your power. I know it's a cliche statement, but this I feel is the motto of this key is like step into your power.
Yes.
Like stop, like initiate this process.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like just fully being in the first to come to awakening, we need to activate a gift and just fully being our authentic nature. Or what you say, step into power, where it's just the true recognition of what moving my soul and just going with it without even thinking of what and how and in which way and everything. Something like if something like it's truly in your heart and it meant to happen, the life is already organizing this path. You have to, and you have to just follow. And when you say an initiative, kind of, first of all, it's inner initiative, to make the right actions, and don't give you energy to wrong actions. That's not in alignment.
What I mean is like to like why I was asking about the genders and things was I was saying, you can kind of like, what is the initiator inside the body? Is the initiator the person who, like, is it the body's feelings? Is it like the emotional body? Or is it the energy to act? The act, because I can feel something, but if I don't act, then I haven't initiated anything. I'm just receiving things, but I'm not initiating something. Like, you know what I mean?
I would say none of them. It's not the feelings, no emotions, and not just energy. It's the spirit moving through you. And when it's moving, it's very, it's kind of, we need to let the spirit move through us and like kind of let go of the control and tendency of our mind, who always wants to get in a way and think that I know what's like needed to happen, or I know what I want, or I know what is right, and all this like mind stories. The more we let the mind kind of out of the way, being just observer, and the more we let spirit move through, and what it happens that any ideas at this point of right or wrong is kind of dissolving, because there is no anymore right or wrong for you. Like, for example, with this key, you can be vegetarian like 20 years, and then at some point your body is saying you need now to eat chicken, and you just go and do it without thinking, because you just fully following the spirit, and you're not even interested in question why, because there is no thoughts appearing about this. So like ideas, oh, I can't do this because I was 20 years vegetarian, it's not blah blah blah. There is no mind. There's kind of, that's why it's so also relaxing, because your mind is not involved. And that's why when we like in this initiative path, there's so much energy is kind of releasing. That's why it's all potential of shadow is transmuted into creative energy, because all that energy we used to loop in our mind of trying to find a way or control or make plans, all this energy is like kind of reversed in the creative force. And from this creative energy, we like kind of creating the life, and it's becoming itself in a way a mystical journey where there's no any more right or wrong or ideas about things. That's why this key is quite radical in a way that it doesn't live in ideas. It doesn't follow Buddhist, it doesn't follow Hindu, it doesn't follow Christ path, it doesn't follow any path. It can find inspiration through teachings or through teachers, but it's know that I'm the like how life will awaken through you will be authentic and unique, and how life will awaken through me will be also authentic and unique, and that never happened and never will happen again, because it's like kind of it's the uniqueness of awakening of the spirit through the system, kind of, and it's always going to be unique and nobody will be able to repeat it. That's why in a way we can't even teach about awakening, because it's not possible. Because the way how, for example, you found it, or like your teacher, is never going to happen to anybody else. Never. That's why you can't make kind of money out of the teaching of awakening in a true sense, because there is nothing you can teach. You can't create Buddhism from awakening. You can't create Hindu. You can't create Tantra. You can't even create Jinkis, is what you try to say. And the Jinkis is like, it's not teaching you anything. It's not even like, you can do your map and everything, but it's like awakening again is the mutational process in your system that happens, and kind of there's again nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Do you want to say anything or ask?
No, that was great. I enjoyed listening to you too.
I was like, it's like
I was like, I was witnessing like the confusion and like you're trying to like understand it mentally, and you're just like fully just there embodied, just speaking truth. I love it.
I'm testing her her enlightened state of consciousness.
In a way, yeah. And in a way, it's like while I was listening to this transmission, something that came to me through clarity is like, every time when I react on something, in a deeper sense, it means only one thing. The moment I react, I forget the true nature of who I truly am. Not of like Katya or like, I don't know, like goddess or whatever, like the true nature, like this source, what I am. Because it's like, because we have sometimes different conversations, like, you know, it's interesting the one way where you build in a relationship, but then being in Nepal, I had so many moments when just like the clarity kind of reflected back everything within with a simple recognition that there is nothing ever happening. It's like the moment I react on anything simply means I lost the center at this moment. Because it's never about anybody. It's never about the other person. And all I can do is recognize it and come back. And that's why it's kind of even hard with this. It's like I would say that's why this key is quite radical. You can't implement it, I would say, in any teachings, even in like in teachings of relationship of like, oh, how you should create this masculine, feminine energy. This key is even beyond the masculine, feminine, anything. It's like it's a spirit. Either spirit is masculine or feminine. It's neither. It's both and it's neither. It's beyond duality. It's just a spirit. It's source. You can't say the source is feminine or masculine.
Is it only this key?
Huh?
Is it only this key?
What do you mean only this key? I don't understand. Can you ask?
What I'm trying to say is that wouldn't that line be true for most keys, like in terms of the Siddhi being beyond duality, beyond whatever that exists?
No, because for example, there are several keys that like more represent the divine feminine, like 22, 47, 48 also will be more the feminine. There are several keys that more represent the masculine.
Yeah. Okay.
The 51 is very like kind of, it's not, it's like, yeah, it's like Trishula, it's like cutting through anything, or like this Vajra. It's neither, it's everything and nothing at the same time.
What about the unity one? Wouldn't that be
The second,
transcending? I don't know which one, which gene key is the one for unity.
it's the second, it's the most feminine key.
Oh, okay. I clearly don't know anything about the key.
Because the hexagrams, the hexagrams of I Ching, the gene is based on them. I itself, there are 6 lines, and they kind of created from lines and there are only 2 lines. Either it's yang, the masculine, or in the feminine, and then the right is creating the hexagrams and keys itself.
Okay. I'm not curious now.
Anyway, always the merging of the like masculine and feminine, the energies, let's say, polarities. But the 51, in the way it acts, it's kind of beyond everything. What's come to me now, just one second, I will say something. As a memory of something, once I had a interesting relationship. They were quite short. There was in Tier 1 Malay years ago, and I would say they've been moving through awakening. It's like it was there was like maybe months experience, and at the time I was also given the Kali meditation practice, so I was very in a like kind of just channeling space, and there was this connection, I would say, with the man where there was just truth in every moment. Kind of, we didn't try to create relationship. It was not. There was no goals, no agenda, no plans, no ideas. There was simply truth in every moment, and so like I remember we could have conversation, and he, for example, come interaction and try to prove something to me or something, and I could just stand and say, I'm not involving with these games, and just leave and just go and just not have a conversation. Or in a moment when something was happening and like my inner child was wounded or something, and I wanted like a hug, and he could stop and say something and hold presence just till a moment when some energy released. It's like they were strange in a way that it was kind of just cutting the ego until a moment that something happened where we just come to a space of unconditional love. That was very mystical, and this kind of was just like truth in every moment, no matter what. Like no fear of losing, or like no, at the same time, like just like an honesty in every moment. And it was very intense, and it was very uncomfortable for personality, because you just have to live every moment in the present moment.
Yep.
And just be very in tune with yourself. And this is what this key is, I would say. It's being very in tune with the heart and the truth, and let it move you. But at the same time, again, I said softening, because it's also how we react on different situations when life provoke us, or as it penetrates us. Can we stay open? Can we soften more, or try to react and fight with it? So yeah, as I said, the 51 is kind of the true initiative. As answering to your question, initiative is not happening in the mind again. It's like through initiative, it's you can create like the energy moving through, and you're acting, and through this creating like a pathway, in a way, I would say. But it's not you thinking about future. Initiative can't happen by somebody thinking about future, because it's going to be a process of mind. initiative can happen only in present moment.
Present moment, but there's like what I'm feeling is it's an interesting thing. It's like, you know, even within like let's take like tantra, right? Tantra I would say is like best way to understand like divine masculine, divine feminine. There is more divine masculine I can see present in this key, because it's like you kind of need to take that wisdom and initiate something, like apply it, like do something with it. And of course it's your own path, and it's not occupied with ideas of and it's not occupied with like feeling separation from the cosmos or anything, right? That's why it's still divine, but there is like a level of like take your own course of action and like stay true to your awakening.
Yes.
Okay, I understand.
You just stay true to your path, and kind of no matter what, in a way.
Even if you have to fight a war?
If it's really impossible for.
This is the key of Bhagavad Gita. If you know the story of Hindu mythology, well, it's not myth, but it's about Sri Krishna, and Krishna is trying to share to his best friend, like, it's to follow the Dharma, to follow your purpose is as an archer to fight your adversary, you know, because that's your like your highest purpose is to be the ultimate warrior.
And it can be right to him, but absolutely not right, not correct, for example, for his friend, because maybe his friend is a Buddha and he's not fighting. He's just absolute emanating peace.
Yeah,
that's why I'm saying kind of
circumstantial.
That's why I'm saying this key. It can't really take any advices. It can't follow any path, any tradition, nothing, because it's like the life. It's like kind of creating a baby. It's creating something unique, never happened before, never will be repeated. Exact that kind of.
Yeah.
It's like evolution creating a new pathway of individual to awaken. And it's going to be all, that's why it's so hard. It's kind of because you go the path that never nobody walked before. It's like kind of you go through the forest, there is no path.
Yeah.
And it's tempting to take like this path is the Buddha, this path, the towns, like there are roads around that's like look very interesting. There's a light there. There's like monks going, or like tantric, or like I don't know, Christians or Krishna people. But you know, you have to go through this forest and you don't have any light or anything. It kind of reminds me, you know, this key of when we had when we was with your Karna. We was a couple years ago at Mahashivaratri at Gokarna. It's one city in India, and it was like Mahashivaratri when you kind of celebrate Shiva, and you don't sleep all night. And this city, it was a big festival happening, and kind of we're going through different temples, and Anthony, and we kind of just recently met at that point, and he was going through. I even don't know how, maybe you better share, but for me, it looked like he was going through just darkness without even using any light. We was barefoot, first time in this place, in this area, don't know nothing about it, not using any maps, nothing, just going somewhere, and I was just following him. And sometimes my mind was like, what the fuck, where we go, what there is, if there are like something I can step on or something, because you don't know, it's dark, it's the night, but you were following something. I don't know what you've been following, but this was initiative because you were going through anything, and somehow he even managed to find a cave that in the beginning and then he's like, but you asked me to find a cave, and I found, and I didn't even remember that I asked about this. And the way like he was guiding through, maybe you share what guided you. I don't know how you doing this. But this would be this key, because you go in a path that's like kind of nobody taken, because we didn't follow any people, nothing. We were just going through, I don't know how, just a divine grace and divine mystical. But what been moving you? Maybe you can share more.
Well, I feel like firstly, yeah, there's an energy of like initiative there. Like, of course, I mean, I have a strong Mars. Like, if you take Western astrology, I have Mars in my first house, so I'm fucking. Pardon my French. Sometimes I will go with Mars energy. That's my first energy I think of when I wake up in the morning, you know? Because
I know.
yeah, because it for me, I have a strong connection with this planet of war and this planet of directness. And so like if I get given the free reign to use it, which for example, like if I'm in the wild in nature, like we were kind of in, you know how it is like some Indians, I don't know if you've been to India, but like in Gokarna, you know, there's beaches, there's hills, there's like caves, so you can, you're like a dog, you know, explore the whole place. And if you know, trust this energy, right? Because the shadow is more about fear and uncertainty, but if you trust the energy, it's magical. I would say Mars is a magical energy. You can, like you said, you can go on a fast path toward awakening. Sometimes if you just trust the free dive, you know? I don't think enough people cultivated this inside them. This is just like you'll be surprised if you just go without a freaking plan and just like
Did you Salvi answer your question?
I can't put it because you know what? I can't put it in words. You just go and do it. See for yourself.
Did you answer your own question about what is initiative?
Yeah, well, now we're in gift now. I feel. I mean, now I understand. But before I was in the shadow. I was like, why is she trying to tell me to be my body? But now it makes total sense. Makes total sense when you use this example. But also there was a level of faith and trust. There's always trust and faith, and how I know it's initiative is, yeah, when it's coming from love and from true devotion, true faith. If you have really strong principles of why you're doing something, that comes from a place of truth, then yeah, go by all means initiate. But if it's just, you know, like kind of like a lot of people are just doing, you know, making choices because it's kind of, yeah, with the mass mindset, then it will probably fail. The Mars energy will not work with you unless you're the one who, if you've got true conviction to do that thing. Like life, or it's almost like life and death. It's almost like the adrenaline. It's like the sympathetic nervous system a little bit, but then like you kind of turn it into like, I don't know, it becomes spirit, like
Yes.
animal nature. It's that kind of this thing.
I would say, just to finish this part, that
Yeah.
the why like this world right now is so much like kind of in shadow, because what people think is initiative is agitation. When people think, oh, I'm following my path, I'm like making these projects, I'm doing this, or even follow spiritual, I do this and this, they think it's initiative, but it's agitation. Because it didn't come from full clarity within first, and a deep sense of like love and devotion. It's coming from mind. A lot of things was like, oh, I need to build this imperial, oh, I need to do this, oh, I need to do this, oh, I want to have this money, oh, I need to have family, and like all this need my mind is like, oh, I need awakening. And because people, and then I push myself, I need to initiate, I need to make things happen, I need to push, and then it's just leading to a shadow. And in fact, it's leading to, if we look at these two keys, 51 and 57, the shadow of 57 is I forget the word, but it's about clarity is a city. It's about being worried for the future. Yeah, unease. It's about being worried for the future and have this anxiety in your system that always makes you do something because you can't just simply stay and be.
Yeah.
And wait when clarity will come and the right the right movement will come, instead of you always trying to initiate something because you just can't simply stay and relax and be and trust in the life, something like this. And of course it's deeper come to a fear of death and to a fear of something will happen to you unpredictable. Think that, oh, if I'll just stay and wait, is like I will miss my life, I will miss all opportunities, life will go like kind of away, nothing will happen, and all these things that then makes us act from anxiety and stress. And this is how most of the society lives. That's why we have such a like disease kind of environment, because it's all just, and it's all feeding. If like you open the Instagram, a lot of things would be like, oh, you need to like do this, you need to use these methods, you need to like market yourself better, you need to do this and this, you need to create this, you need this, like all they need without like, but what's truly coming through you? Like, do you really need or don't you really need? Nobody can know, just you. And this is the thing with this key, it's kind of when you're truly on the path of initiative and awakening, there is nobody who you can ask like for solution or suggestion, because it's like it's absolutely the path of your soul. And if it happens by the grace that you're having conversation with your friend and through this some clarity happen, it's also happen by the path of your soul, that it meant to happen like this, but not because you were looking for answers. Yeah, it will naturally occur, exactly, yes. So that's why this key is kind so, in a way, uncomfortable, because it's uncomfortable for our mind, because we have to go, you know how they say like awakening is when you go in the opposite direction of a river flow, like the whole river flow, the most of collective consciousness of humanity goes this direction and you go opposite. And yeah, this is what this key represents. And do you want to share anything, or we can go to Siddhi?
No, we can move on. I've only got about 20 minutes, but yeah, I would love to hear the last piece.
Okay. How much you said?
I've only got 20 minutes. I'm gonna head. It's a bit late here.
I think we finish in 20 minutes.
Yeah, except for meditation. Really.
Yeah, so then the Siddhi of awakening. In a way, there is nothing even to say about this.
You said it all.
Because, yeah, all that can be said, it's in a way an illusion. It's like what I like about the Siddhi, or about the description of the Siddhi, that a lot of times we take some mystical experience for awakening. And again, how Richard was sharing, bless you, that different mystical experience happening to so many people all the time. But to have like some greater visions, to have some insights, to open your third eye, to, I don't know, remember all your past lives, all the things is not awakening. Even to receive a strong Shaktipat and had experience, all this is not awakening. But what happens is that a lot of the time we think, oh, this is it. And then that's how we create spiritual ego.
Mm.
And what is awakening, in fact, is, I don't know if it's possible to say, it's like, I said, in a way, it's the most mysterious Siddhi, but it looks the less is it, because it's just a simple recognition that all the time you was in a dream, kind of sleeping. You know how they said there's truly only two states of being. Either you're in a sleep or you're awakened. And if you haven't awakened, then you are in sleep, because when you awakened, you know it kind of for sure. And it's not mysterious. It's not like you know, like for example, I the person who have open third eye and can see so many things. But I remember when I was doing Vipassana, and they recommend just to do simple there meditation of observing the sensations. And it was so hard for me just to do this and not do anything else, because I had constantly remembrance of past lives, or this and some mysterious processes. And I was just constantly bringing myself back into presence and into body, and not going there where it was very comfortable to my mind and very familiar. But awakening is not about this. When, at some point there is a recognition happen that kind of there is nobody there or here. And this key, I would say, is a recognition that at the same time there is you in everything, like a source. There is a life, I would say, there is a life recognized itself in individual that dissolves any idea of individual self. So the true awakening, it's fully dissolve the separation. When awakening happen, you can't be any more separated from life. There is no anymore I. There is no anymore individual path. This all dissolved or like merged with source. Because there is no anymore I that doing something or going somewhere. And this is what the awakening is, dissolving the self or the idea of self. It's like truly seeing that this self was always an illusion. And then it's like, and this is the thunder, the thunderstorm. This is like this shock that's happening. And this will need this tenderness, this softness in our heart to let it move through us, kind of this uncomfortable truth, to let life, to digest it, to let it open the true nature of who we are. And but also what I like about this key, and maybe it can be more about gift, that there is light searching for you, but you have to make your steps towards it. It's like there is an awakening searching for you, but without you being initiative, nothing can happen. So we can see the paradoxes of life, that you even not exist, but at the same time, for awakening to happen, you need to start your hero path, to search for something that is searching you. In fact, I would say something like a secret. This is how I kind of connected, or say attracted my twin flame, because in the moment of doubts, or in the moment of losing the faith, or something like, before we met, I remembered that if I'm searching for somebody else, that means this is searching for me. Because I never would want something that doesn't want me equally, like energetically. Like if I'm searching for God, it means God's searching for me. If I'm searching for my twin flame, and it truly comes from heart, not just like from some ideas or something, there's true like the heart involved in that, then there is something searching for me. And this means that at some point the recognition will happen of the meeting of, let's say, when also I meet with God.
Union of opposites.
Yeah, because I even forget what I want to say. Like, when we search for something, it's searching us, but we had to make these steps forward through any obstacles. This is where the gift of initiative is coming. We have to initiate, we have to go through any obstacles, through any discomfort situations. That's how we also like creating this path of liberation, only to a moment when this kind of meeting is happening, recognizing that kind of it was always here in a way, like when we're searching for God, then when the awakening happened, we're realizing that it was always here. But I had to I had to create a path, because this path, it's also what creates the kind of the unique story, something like this, that how divine is wants to experience or unfold itself in ways like in a mysterious game. And yeah, the truth is said of this key is we have to make our steps forward towards the light, or we kind of need to connect in our heart what our heart is searching for, and then go there 100%. There's going to be initiative, and the initiative will start to create initiations. And initiations are spontaneous processes occurring in a system of individual, happen within or by some transmissions or receiving energies from the outside that transmute the physical, emotional, mental body, and transmute the way how the system operates, making possible for individual to experience the higher consciousness. And every initiation is what making the system being changed forever. And the series of initiations is what at the end creating awakening. Yeah. Do you want to say something or ask?
Can you repeat that last thing about the series of
initiations, and then creating awakening?
Initiatives, yeah.
Initiations was like something initiate your system. It's like either it's happening within, like Kundalini awakening is initiation, or you receive like some initiation in a temple, or through like whatever teacher or something that create a mutation process in your system that moves your system to a higher consciousness and different level of awareness. And then after each initiation, we have integration. Because also the shadow of this key is always wants initiation and never give a space for integration. It's like always want to stay in a high without going in a low. When it said you have to integrate the initiation, and then the initiation will happen. And it has to kind of be like this until the system stabilizes. And at that moment, the awakening happens.
It's like, how can you get the next initiation if you haven't finished with the last, like, integration, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, and then when system truly integrate, then it's ready to expand and receive more. And then the series of initiations, they're what create an awakening. And that's why it's like a spontaneous process that can't even be described or understood, because it's beyond understanding. It's like, and also what I love about this kid said, then it first appears an individual, then awakening happening within relationship, then awakening happening within groups of people, and in the end within the humanity in general and all. So the first individual awakes, and this also reminds me of, we had already so many experience of like teachers or like who we call master. It's individual that awakened. But what I feel now, the times that we're living in, it's a time for awakening in relationships and then in groups of people. And that's why right now, like last years, there are so many possibilities of like divine union happening, because it's a time to awaken in the partnership and in a group of people. That's harder than just awakening of individual. I would say it's complete different process. The awakening of individual and awakening of one consciousness in a two kind of separated people, it's very different process.
Mm.
And
It's kind of like we're not in a time anymore where it's like one person can awaken.
yes,
Because the world is just so connected now. It's like we're all so responsible for each other's karma, everything, you know, every single person you meet more or less every day is like so, you know, karmically like necessary in your life. It's like it's hard now not to separate someone across the other part of the world and all of this kind of stuff. So
yeah, I would say in a way, if before years, like centuries ago, were more path of monks who were awakening individually. Now it's a path of unions, and from that a path of groups of people, or like what we call soul family, who are awakening together. And what does it mean? It means like the recognition of the one consciousness, the true nature within two people that happen with both at the same time, and then it happens in a group of people at the same time, and then it's happening kind of in whole humanity. And that's very different processes, awakening of just one individual. You want to say something? No? Okay. I feel, yeah, this just transmission is the energy of finishing, and
meditation.
we just have to be open to receive it in a way, and soften more and more and more. Be gentle to ourselves, be gentle to others. Let go our tendencies to control life, being ready to be penetrated by life. And you know, like, because in the shadow, it's like, as I said, also what I like of this description, when awakening is happening, there is a happening clarity that is everything always penetrating one another. And I remember this, I had once Kundalini awakening at some point in my life, and through that, I would say, I entered a space where I saw that, not that I saw, but there was like a scene that everything is always having sex with one another and always like in orgasmic state. And when I'm saying everything, I mean not like just people or animals. I mean just all existence kind of. It's moving, always penetrating everything, and through this like generating energy and creating this
Vortex.
yeah, and it's a mysterious in a way. But then on a human level, when we perceive it from a shadow of agitation, we have this like fear and comparison, and we think, oh, I need to be first who penetrates, so I will not be penetrated.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, I need to be first, so I have more benefit. And we like stuck in this competition mind. When in awakening we see there is no competition, there is nobody to compete with one another, and that's how we can really then create what we call like new humanity or new yours, everything that doesn't base on competition. That in the end it will even dissolve the idea of individual individual paths. It's going to be we are creating together instead of I just doing like what I want. It's like it's going to be a vision that my gift and talents, how they are in harmony with people who are like, let's say, within soul family, and will complement one another to create something bigger together. It's not only even anymore about me, or it's about us.
We.
Yeah.
I do have a question. Just curious, like, yeah, what your reflections are of this gene key being specifically in the attraction sphere.
It depends on which line you have there, because
5.
And simply your relationship will show, first of all your agitation, all where you fight. all where you don't trust, all where you not surrender, all where you're not following the truly path of your heart. And yeah, the kind of the relationship will be always provocation to show you your agitation, to help to move to the gift and the Siddhi, and to move to awakening. But doesn't mean that you have to awaken others or other will awaken you. It's more seeing layers of this agitation and how it's playing out in your life to help you soften more, and in a way they found and follow this path of your heart to being integrated in it. And if you're in a shadow, the relationship will show the agitation, or the other person will act in this way, and you will think that this is the other person when it's going to be about you. And when you are in there's a clarity or more closer to awakening, then the relationship itself creates a harmony, because the relationship will be a reflection of your gifts, shadow, and Siddhi in this key.
But you said that this key is responsible for this sphere.
No, she has in her personal chart.
Okay.
And then also when we work with the sphere, we also see the line, but this maybe if you want, we can do some personal, whatever exploration.
Yeah.
Because it's also deeper. We put a line and then we connect and we see how it works, because the fifth line is very deep. I have also fifth line in my attraction field in Anthony, and it's the line of, it's a people who's very strong manipulators, but also very sensitive and vulnerable, and they are here to show the true example of what the sexual energy is. Because again, the attraction is also our sexual wound there. That's we go in deeper to a point when we've been inside mother womb, in the moment of when the pregnancy, or the moment when the mother was pregnant with us, and it created a pattern of our sexuality. So we also kind of transmute the pattern of sexuality, and then through the fifth line is here to be absolutely vulnerable and open, but in the shadow it's opposite. It afraid of this vulnerability and afraid of opening. It wears so many masks, and it can be also very manipulative, and it doesn't even see the way it manipulates.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can relate.
Oh, it's a deep one. I remember when I've been working with this line in my lab and with sexual energy, it was like, the more I saw sometimes, I was like, wow, oh my God, really, this is like me. And then to uncovering, like a pearl, what is like, and the tenderness of it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah, we'll chat about maybe doing a one-on-one after this, but yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Do you have time for 5 minutes for meditation, or you have to go?
Yeah, we can do 5 minutes. I can do that. Let's do it.
Let's do. So just find comfortable position. Close your eyes. Find your breath. Feel how the air is moving through you. Feel your body. Feel the surface that you sit on. Feel your root system going down to the earth. and how energy of Mother Earth coming into your system and supporting you. And feel the energy of Father Sky, Divine Masculine Principle going into your system through the crown chakra. Feeling the light in your heart, in the center of your heart, and a rainbow sphere around you. Feeling connection with the gene keys and with the 51st gene key and the shadow of agitation. Feel it in your body, where it's located. Maybe you can see how it plays out in your life, in which patterns and tendencies. Feel all the discomfortable sensations. And just give them space. Give them space to be. Going deep in your heart, softening. Accepting the shadow with love. Breathing deeper. And seeing that the more you give love to your shadow, the more it transmutes to the gift, initiative, initiation. And see and feel what is the initiation. Maybe it is not what your mind think it is, but what it truly is, you can explore right now, you can see and feel. Maybe it's something that you didn't even think about. Feel how the energy of this gift is moving through your system right now at this point, at this moment. Opening your heart and softening your system. Activating the quality of mildness. And making another deep breath. And opening yourself to receive the Siddhi of awakening. In the way and form it will occur right now. Beyond your understanding, beyond the logic, beyond anything you ever learned or experienced. Just let it be and stay open to receive it. Inviting it in, feeling. Feeling your heart. Let this energy move through all your system, activating your nadis, your energy channels. Going to the bottom of your toes. Taking another deep breath is three deep breath in and breathe out. You can put your hands in Namaste position in front of your heart. Feeling this Siddhi, and even when we will open our eyes, we still remain in this energy. Staying open to receive it, keep receiving it and integrating. And you're ready, we can rub your palms. Put to your face. And give attention to those parts of body that needs attention. And when you're ready, just open your eyes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for initiating.
Yes. Yes, I did. I did feel the call. I don't know. Yeah, I've just been in such an interesting interesting things have happened in the last 3 weeks. And yeah, I have your yeah, I don't know. Just today I was like, oh, I'll just check the Gene Keys chat, and then happened to be the 51st, which is, and everything you said at the beginning was just like just what I needed. I was like, wow, everything's like landing and making sense with what's unfolding. Yeah, so it's really beautiful. Thank you so much for your gift. Oh my God, such a truly like, oh, have no words.
Thank you so much for being here and receiving.
Mm.
Yeah, and we can speak later about the 51st.
Yeah, for sure. I would love. Yeah, love a reading from you. That'd be amazing.
You want to say something, my love?
Oh, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. That's
Okay.
my word. Shanti.
Okay. Mwah. Have a great
Thank
day.
you so much. Yes, I'll message you. Have an amazing evening. Bye.
Bye. Hi from Nepal.